Hey, this is Sebastian from SocialAnxietySolutions.com. I'm a former social anxiety disorder sufferer and a social confidence coach, and I've been coaching people with social anxiety for the past 10 plus years. And last week I found myself saying something to a client that I've noticed myself saying over and over and over again. And I thought it would be helpful to share that with you so that hopefully you'll learn something from it. Now, actually, as you're listening to me, as you're watching this, and if you've already seen a bunch of my other videos, it'd be worthwhile to watch this video while you're tapping. So if you're already familiar with the tapping points, just be tapping on your tapping points throughout this whole little 5 or 10 minute chat, because that's going to help your understanding, your perhaps new understanding or perhaps repeated understanding go deeper. It will go deeper in. It will be more helpful to you. Okay, so let me share a little story. So last week I'm working with a client, and he tells me about how he's been beating himself up after he got anxious. And I gave him the now remember, he has kids. He has a little son, and his son is 4. And I said to him, it's like, hey, imagine that your son comes to you, and he's like, Dad, I'm scared to go to school. And you react to him in the following way: you pathetic little shit. You shouldn't be afraid. What's wrong with you? My God, man up. Don't be such a little wimp. Come on, you're so pathetic. I don't love you anymore if you feel that way. Now get away from me now, right? So it's an interesting thought exercise for a father, right? So he was he was very averse to that idea, logically so, thankfully so. And I said, now, let's look at a different kind of approach. Now your 4-year-old son comes to you and he's like, Dad, I feel scared about going to school. He probably won't use the word anxious, right? I feel scared about going to school. And your reaction is like, that's okay. We're all scared sometimes. I've got your back no matter what. I love you. It's okay to feel a bit scared. Come here and give me a hug. And if you want, we'll talk about it. And I love you. You're great. No matter what, I'm always behind you. Wow, totally different experience for that 4-year-old, right? Now that relates directly to how you treat yourself when you get anxious. Do you treat yourself like the harsh, horrible, mean father, or do you treat yourself like the nice, loving, kind father? Because that makes all the difference in how your social anxiety develops in that particular moment. So if you experience social anxiety and you're the mean, harsh dick of a father to yourself, guess what happens? Guess what happens to that 4-year-old when he's that way? That 4-year-old will get more scared, now will also feel ashamed, now will also feel guilty, now might even feel sad, feel really upset, and it has become an even bigger deal, and he's now, I shouldn't feel the way I feel. The 4-year-old gets all confused and all overwhelmed, and there's so many things now to deal with. See where I'm going with this? Turn it around. How will that 4-year-old feel with the nice, kind, loving father? Soothe. I'm okay even though I feel the way that I do. I am backed up. I'm loved. Even though I feel this way, I'm okay. It's not that bad to feel this way. See? So very different. So you can either be the mean, harsh, dick father or mother. This happened to be a guy client. It's about 50-50 clients that I work with. 50% male, no, maybe 55% male, a little bit more male, but almost even. Anyway, getting off track. It's been a long day. Anyway, back to the topic. So you have the option to be your mean dad or your kind and loving dad. So that's something I want you to consider. Now, this idea doesn't necessarily mean that's instantly in your subconscious and every single time you will be the nice, loving, kind dad to yourself. I wish it was that easy, but it is now a concept. So this means you have now more ways of going with your thinking. It's not, you will be able to catch yourself in the act of being the dick father, you know, and then you can turn it around. And every time you turn it around, you make it easier to go to the nice loving father the next time, or the nice loving mother the next time. It takes repetition, it takes time, and you know, tapping is going to help with this. Now, I shared this story with my client because I wanted to introduce him to the concept, so he would be more self-aware and he would have more options. After that, though, we were actually addressing the root cause of that problem itself, which had to do with self-shame, low self-esteem, you know, all sorts of other stuff that I won't go into. So, you know, this is just a simple technique, but it's something that's helpful that you can start using. There's a lot more that you can do to break down that, you know, self-rejecting, beating yourself up, internal automated voice. But that's beyond the scope of this video. So I hope this is helpful. You know, check it out. How are you going to treat yourself? Like the harsh, horrible dick of a father, or a nice, kind, loving father? Practice it, see what happens. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this, or if you have any insights, or if you have any tips to share in terms of how to be more self-compassionate. So thank you for being here. I release videos like this every week. Subscribe here, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.